I am beating every N64 game, and I mean all of them. The twist is, the next game I play is randomly selected, so I have no clue what's coming next. This is the journey to beating every N64 game. Game number 155, All-Star Baseball 2000. Released in 1999, this game was developed by Iguana Entertainment and published by Acclaim. We played All-Star Baseball 99 back at Game 63, and I remember being really impressed with its graphics. It seems this was the main baseball series on the console. There were a few one-offs from other devs, but this is the one with the most entries. It's kind of surprising in a way. I remember the triple play games being big on the PlayStation, but there's only one of those on N64. Yeah, I know, more sports games. Honestly, don't dislike sports games though. Only the bad ones. The last All-Star Baseball was decent, so hopefully this one is too. Let's get into it. All-Star Baseball 2000. When I boot up a baseball game, I usually like to check if there's a home run derby, and this had one. It's a good way to familiarize yourself with batting. You move the cursor around to where the ball is going and press A to swing. You can hold B to do a power swing. An interesting thing is you can angle the cursor to make the ball favor a certain direction. Like angling it down will make the ball go more in the air when you hit it. So the way we handle sports games in this challenge is win the main championship for that sport in the quickest way the game allows. This game allows me to jump straight to the World Series, which is awesome. It's a best of 7 game series, so I had to win 4 games. For my team, I went with the classic New York Yankees. Would you believe it? The Reds actually made it to the World Series. That's how you know this is a video game. When you start a game, everyone lines up for the national anthem. Thankfully, I can skip that nonsense. I was fielding first, and I had old Roger Clemens throwing in Game 1. You choose which pitch to throw with the C buttons, aim where to throw it with the joystick, then press A to throw. The game gives you hot and cold zones for the batter you're against. Kind of seems overpowered to have that knowledge. Pitching to the cold zone makes it less likely they connect. I got through the first inning with no hits, and that was the end of that. I was greeted with a nice little jingle from the organ player during the transition, and it was awesome. Oh, come on, keep going. For my batting, I had Derek Jeter on first after a single. Paul O'Neill hit a pop fly to right field, and I just couldn't figure out how to make Jeter go back and tag up. The worst double play ever. I swear, these baseball games change up the base running controls every time. Next inning, Brian Johnson hit a drive to left center field, and I tried experimenting with the dive button.
Line drive to left center.
Not my best move, allowed the Reds to get a triple. Thankfully, they didn't get any runs out of it. In the third inning, I had the great Chuck Knobloch hit a drive deep to right field for my first home run.
There's a hard shot.
Oh, get out of here, get out of here, get out of here!
A two-run
Yeah,
home.
baby!
Boy, a home run juice up.
Always feels amazing getting one of these. Also, his batting stance is super cursed. Their pitcher Denny Neagle was in absolute shambles. I don't know if this was just bad RNG or what, but Clemens threw this pitch into a different zip code. Why did he do that? At least there weren't any runners on. Of course, they can get a home run just as easily as I can. Me when getting a home run, oh yeah, this is awesome, I love this. Me when they get a home run, dude, what the heck, this sucks, I hate this. The fielding controls in this are really smooth. It feels like the game is trying to be a simulation game, but it controls well as if it were an arcade-style game. One thing this game really needs is the ability to argue about a call. Come on, dude, he was out. Let me bring the coach out to scream in the umpire's face while saliva visibly flies out of my mouth. Anyway, I'll take this time to talk about the graphics and audio. As expected, the graphics are just superb in this game. I really don't know how they made it look so nice on the N64. There's barely any lag too. I feel like people could be convinced this is a lower tier GameCube game. Although, what's up with this stupid Twizzlers ad in the background? Those things are nasty. The audio is really good as well. During a game you hear the sound of the bat hitting the ball hitting the glove, and the crowd cheering. John Sterling and Michael Kay offer commentary after every single play. You'll hear repeat lines, but I feel like every sports game does that. The voices themselves are of good quality. Then of course there's the pipe organ player who is just the star of the show. I love that thing. Coming into the 9th inning, there's one thing I learned my lesson on in the last entry, and that's having a relief pitcher. Despite Clemen's stamina still being nearly half full, it plummets fast when it hits that level. You need to have a relief pitcher ready in the bullpen, and they need at least 1 inning to warm up. Thankfully I knew this, and I had the legend Mariano Rivera waiting. He struck out the side, and that was the end of Game 1. We won 6-2. We won Game 2 12-2, but not without my defense making this stupid play.
He's in there.
What? You stole the ball! What are you thinking? Dude, he literally stole it. What are you doing? Anyway, Game 3 was next. Let's get into the highlights. The Reds had Brett Tomko on the mound to start things off. After striking out the leadoff, Derek Jeter takes him yard with a long drive to center field. It's gone! First run of the game goes to the Yankees. Brett Tomko's going to want to forget about this inning, as after giving up a double, Tino Martinez sends it flying over the center field wall. 2 home runs in 1 inning? The Yankees start 3-0 to start the day off. It just kept getting worse for Tomko as Ricky Ledee hit a drive in the gap to right field. It gets past everyone, and another run scored. Jorge Posada blasted deep into left center field, another run scored. I can't imagine a worse way to start this game for Tomko and the Reds. Finally getting out of the inning, Andy Pettitte strikes out. What a disastrous first inning for the Reds. Second inning now, look at the right fielder Dante Bichette. Perfect over the shoulder grab. See that one later on the top 10. Not a lot of action up to the 4th inning. In the bottom, Andy Pettitte goes rogue and blasts Barry Larkin in the head. We've got to hope that was an accident, but then he immediately does it again to Sean Casey. He just kept doing it over and over, and you've got to think there's some malicious intent at this point. The Reds were showing some serious restraint to not charge the mound and empty the dugouts. Maybe this game doesn't have that feature. In the bottom of the 5th now, the Reds get back-to-back hits off Pettitte, who appears to have overcome his roid rage. He's punished greatly as Sean Casey hits it way back to left field, 2-runner score, now 5-4 Yankees. Don Zimmer's gotta be yelling at Andy Pettitte in the dugout. He gets out without any more trouble, 5-4 Yankees at the start of the 6th. I don't know how much these umpires are being paid, but this guy was clearly back to the base well before the tag. Unbelievable miscall there. Now in the 7th, Chuck Knobloch hits it in the gap for a run in, 6-4 Yankees. Another deep drive, 2 more runs batted in, the Reds letting this one slip away. Next, it goes over the first baseman's head, and this couldn't be going any worse for Cincinnati. It's the first inning all over again. Jorge Posada blasts another one over the wall in center field. Home run! The inning ends 13-4 Yankees. I think this shows the game in a nutshell as Dmitri Young pops one up foul, but Jorge Posada makes a beautiful diving catch. The Reds never had a chance. The Yankees ultimately take Game 3, 13-4. So yeah, that was exciting. Anyway, I also won Game 4, 8-4, and the Yankees were the World Series champions. It shows a cutscene with all the players celebrating on the field, kinda just jumping and running around awkwardly. Then it shows an image with the commissioner's trophy and some fireworks, and that's about all the celebration you get. So there's a couple other things in this game. I was playing on the simulation control style, but the game also has an arcade mode. As far as I can tell, it mostly controls the same. I imagine maybe it's a bit easier to field and hit. A big difference I did see is the pitchers have 8 different pitches to choose from rather than the normal 4. The other thing is cheat codes. There's a menu where you can enter these, and some of them are really cool. Let's see, I turned the stadium black, I made all the players tiny, I made the ball huge, and I made it have a fiery trail. This is the ideal way to play All-Star Baseball 2000 right here. But yeah, that's about all there is for this one. Game complete. So yeah, there you have it, my journey to beating All-Star Baseball 2000. It's another entry into this series, and I think they did a good job. Back in the day, this would have been pretty cool to have if you were into baseball. Personally, I think Ken Griffey Jr.'s Major League Baseball is a bit more fun, but this one's not bad at all. The stadiums look good, the players look fantastic, and all the animations are nice. The commentary's solid too. Still though, most of these sports games are only so fun if you're playing by yourself. They're really meant for multiplayer, and that's not what this series is about. If you were looking for a baseball game to try on the N64 for some nostalgia, this isn't a bad one to pick. I gave it a 5.5 out of 10 for enjoyability and a 2 out of 10 for difficulty. Alright, thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed. We had a randomized marble race to determine which game was next, so here's how that played out. Or skip to the timestamp on screen to skip straight to the game selection. Alright, 236 marbles in the list, and they are off. The marbles are going NBA Hang Time, might be the first down. If I recall, the middle tube is the most optimal, the closer you are to the middle. So NBA Hang Time in the lead. NASCAR 2000, that is a disaster seeing that chat. 64 Ozumo, that is a Japanese exclusive. And Custom Robo, that's a Japanese game. The Legend of Zelda out in near the front. Could this be, chat? NBA Hang Time. We got Legend of Zelda coming as well. NASCAR 2000, a bunch of Japanese games. NBA Hang Time still hanging out in front. Custom Robo making a push though. NASCAR 2000 as well. Coming through the Cracker Barrel pegs. Now we're going through the hairbrush. NASCAR 2000 making it through this. NASCAR 2000 in an early lead. San Francisco Rush Custom Robo as well. NASCAR 2000, first one into the washing machine. Going through the spin cycle. And Shogi is off the cliff, thank goodness. That would be a disaster. Biofreaks as well. So many marbles in the washing machine. Who's going to come out? And it's NBA Hang Time escapes as well as the next F1 game and Zelda. NBA Hang Time, Zelda, F1, our current leaders coming down, going into the double comb. We could see a huge lead split here as well. NBA Hang Time does come out. San Francisco Rush, Japanese game. NBA Hang Time gets launched off the cliff, though. It will not be NBA Hang Time. We've got Hot Wheels Turbo Racing coming through, too. Hot Wheels Turbo Racing getting a bit of a boost. And it might be Hot Wheels Turbo Racing unless the F1 game can take the lead. And F1 steals it at the last second. I thought Hot Wheels was going to do it. But it's actually the next F1 game. Unbelievable. Legend of Zelda had a chance, but it couldn't be done. So we're playing the next F1 game, which is F1 World Grand Prix 2. But yeah, if you're still here watching, you're awesome. Thank you so much. If you had a good time, consider hitting that like button, or maybe even dropping a subscription. Or hey, maybe even watch another one of these videos that's on screen now. And yeah. See you next time.